Once upon a time, I went to a show and it was called Buyer and Cellar. It was directed by Stephen Brackett and it was by Jonathan Tollins. It was about a guy named Alex Moore, Michael Urie, who worked for Barbra Streisand in her mall, which was in her basement, which no one but her and her husband came to. It is about friendship between a movie star and a regular guy and how rich people can be nice or they can be jerks. And frozen yogurt. People who would like this show are people who like bubble-blowing dolls, hilarious tragic backstories, and laughing your face off.
Hi, I'm Ada Gray and I'm talking with Michael Urie of Buyer and Cellar. So I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Great, let's do it.
How much are you like the character Alex Moore?
Well, Alex Moore is a struggling actor in Los Angeles, and I was a struggling actor in New York before I started working regularly as an actor. But Alex Moore gets into trouble with his temper sometimes, and I don't have a huge temper. I don't want you to think that I'm like an angry person, but occasionally I will get frustrated with things. It's never gotten me fired. I'm not like the Hulk. I'm like one shot. I'm like a light green when I get angry. I don't turn bright green like you do. I do like light green, and then I do smash things, not big things, like little things, like nuts. I'll smash a nut.
So sometimes it could get really funny because you were switching characters back and forth so quickly. Is that fun to do?
It is fun to do. I like playing all the parts. It was really hard at first to learn, to learn how to do that. To play a dialogue scene, because it's hard enough to act alone, but then to have to play dialogue scenes and play conflict. So that was hard. It was really hard to like learn, and but once I did it, it was really fun because it's a comedy, and so much of it is based on timing. In comedy, there's a joke, and like the punchline is funny, but if you don't deliver the punchline with the right timing, then it won't be funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're working with other actors, one or both of you can mess up the timing, and then it won't be funny. But since I'm the only actor, I never mess up my timing.
So I really liked all the gypsy stuff, and like when you were singing Here's Your Hat and you just started crying in the middle of it, I just found it so funny. Have you actually ever been in Gypsy?
I have. I was in Gypsy in community college in Plano, Texas. I played Omaha, who is not actually in the play. They added a character for me. I was one of the farm boys.
Oh, yeah.
We sang Broadway, Broadway, we missed it so, dun, 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 dun. It was really hard. Also, Bougeron Cochon, who appears in a later scene. He's a photographer, and he takes a picture of Gypsy Rose Lee, and he has one word. It's enchanté, and I made it last as long as I possibly could. I did. I said it like this. But I loved being a gypsy. It was really fun. It was a long time ago. It was like 15 years ago now. You weren't even born yet.
So what is Juilliard like? Should I apply to go there when I'm old enough to go to college?
Well, I had a really good experience at Juilliard, and it's a wonderful way to learn the techniques of acting and how to sustain a performance and how to fill a big theater. And I met some amazing people, some of my closest friends. And whether or not I think you should go, I don't know. Are you any good?
I don't know. What is your favorite Shakespeare play, and what is your favorite character to play in Shakespeare?
Well, my favorite Shakespeare play is called The Winter's Tale. Do you know it?
Yes.
It goes from like this serious and stern court to this wily, crazy farm, sort of rural area. And I love that about the play. I love that you have both, the juxtaposition of one to the other, sad and serious and strict, to fun and silly and loosey-goosey in the second act. So I love that. And there's a character in it that I'm probably still too young to play, but Leontes, who really sort of handles the first act. He's really the the main character in the first act. That's a part I really, really want to play. I played Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet, which is a great part that I loved doing, and I would do again for sure if ever asked. I also got to play, do you know the play Midsummer Night's Dream?
Yes, I do.
Well, when I was in A Midsummer Night's Dream, I played Flute and Thisbe. Do you know who they are?
Mm-hmm.
So you know that there's the group of actors in the play who put on a play, and they're all boys, and one of them has to play the girl. And I played the boy who had to play the girl. Long before I played a girl in this. And that was one of my most favorite experiences ever, because he's very funny and he gets stuck playing this girl. And then in the production that we did, when they do the play, at the end of the play, the director had this great idea that I ended up being really good in the play. So you think I'm going to be terrible because I'm sort of shy and I'm kind of an idiot. And then when the play starts, at first I am terrible, but then I sort of turn into like Meryl Streep.
Do you like TV or theater better?
Well, there are pros and cons to both. I love doing the theater because it's immediate, and when for example, at Buyer and Cellar, I'm almost to 400 performances. So I get a lot of chances to get it right.
Yeah.
And if I do it, and I get to learn something from it every single night. In TV, or certainly like with Ugly Betty, which was a single camera show where we would shoot it with one camera, and then, they would move the camera and shoot the other person in the scene. So like you'd have a few chances, a few takes here and then a few takes here, and then you'd be done, and that would be the end, and you wouldn't really work on it anymore. And so it's fun that way, and then it's immediate because it goes out into the world a few weeks later and it's on television for the whole world to see. So that's exciting, and the scope is obviously much better. 10 million people watch an episode as opposed to 550 people who watch a performance. So that is really exciting and thrilling. But you don't have the audience's reaction right there, and you're done with it. It's gone. It's gone forever. And you might, when I watch it on TV later, I might think, oh, I wish I'd done that differently. And you don't have another opportunity to do it. But you can really change. You can really help change things. When the show was on, people were really affected by its message, and still today, I still hear from people who say the work that you guys did on Ugly Betty helped me to figure out who I am, and that's something I'm really, really proud of.
So what's your favorite flavor of frozen yogurt, and what do you like to put on top of it?
Yes, now the real question. Finally, we're getting down to the serious topic of froyo. I am a purist. I like plain frozen yogurt, which is not really plain. It's more of a tart flavor.
That's my favorite too.
That's your favorite too? I mean, I love the peanut butter flavor, but not in my froyo. I like chocolate flavor, but not in my froyo. I prefer it to be just the regular tart and then the toppings. I really like chocolate toppings, like Heath Bar Crunch, Heath Bar pieces, or Reese's peanut butter cups, and also the little vanilla yogurt chips.
Have you ever had the mochi?
Mochi? Yes, I have had mochi. They're the little, they have the frozen yogurt inside the like candy.
Yeah, they're like squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like fruit and chocolate.
You like it together. Mm-hmm. I prefer to either go all fruit or all sweet chocolate, sugary, gooey stuff.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you.
Well, then should we go get some frozen yogurt?
Yes.
I think we should.
Cellar runs through June 15th at the Broadway Playhouse at the Water Tower Place. And if you want to buy tickets for this show, go to BroadwayInChicago.com. Thanks for letting me ask you these questions.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for asking them. And for the froyo.